Hi, welcome to Gail's Garden, Herbs and More. Actually, I'm not in my garden, I'm in the creek. Yes, I'm sitting in the creek. And my feet are my shoes are on and they're getting very wet. um, Trying to keep this close enough that you can hear what I'm saying. We are in a war. And there's a lot of controversy over who we're at war with. No, I'm not talking about overseas. I'm talking about right here in the USA. And it's a different kind of war. It's not, in some ways it's not so different because our railroads are being, are all kinds of accidents. There's so many, they don't even report on them anymore. Our food processing plants in the hundreds of all different of stuff along those lines. Our infrastructure is being totally destroyed. And they're doing it in such a guerrilla warfare type of way that a lot of people aren't even noticing. I hope I don't say the wrong words that get this taken down. But I don't want to get into the controversy of who we're fighting against and all of that. Although, in a way, I do want to get into the ultimate of who we're fighting, which is Satan himself. He's just using people as his pawns. He knows his time is short and he wants to get rid of us, the human race. And what better way than to convince us that we're poisoning the planet and we're just no good, and humans are, and your animals, their farts are causing a lot of problems in the atmosphere. And if they were really concerned about the atmosphere, they'd get rid of all that garbage that's up in the sky that they're putting there. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Why shouldn't I talk about this? They're cutting down. They don't like me anyway because I talk about herbs and anything that's true and helpful and against they want us to go all chemicals and poisonous, make us sick. We can't be too strong. We don't want to be too much up here either, because then we can fight back. Then we can think how to conquer and how to win the war. They don't want us to win. And I think a lot of these people don't even know why they think like they do. And I wouldn't really call it thinking. I guess it is. It's thoughts going through their mind. But they are so blind. They don't know what they're doing. Some know what they're doing. Some are so pure evil they know, and then others they're using as their pawns that think they're fighting for something that they're not even fighting for. And but in general, most people, and I think the majority of us now, are starting to see a lot of this stuff. But still, even all these people in the homesteads and that are supposed to know, and I see them doing things like constantly going, they're so involved in the medical system, and all of that is collapsing. Everything's collapsing. They don't even know how attached to the beast system they are. And we have been over the last 100 years, and we were reset back in the 1800s, and now we've become so, all of us, myself included in a lot of ways, but I started pulling out from, I hardly ever go to the doctors or anything like that anymore, even when even when I had the thing that was going around, and I was very, very sick, but I said, either the Lord will keep me here for a reason, or I will go home to be with him. I'm not going in there. I'm sorry I have to talk in code and stuff a lot, but I'm trying to, they're already shadow banning me or whatever, and I get so many people that join, maybe 4 or 5 a week, and they drop me 4 or 5 a week. They usually keep me down. Like right now they're keeping me in, what is it, I've been at 809 so many times it ain't funny, and they keep dropping me back. I think I'm down to 806 last time I looked, at maybe lower now. And I've had at least a dozen that have joined, maybe more, that I didn't even see. And they drop them. And if you don't see a channel for a while, you forget it's there. I do. There's several. I thought, man, whatever happened to that channel? And I can't remember the name to find it anymore. And some of them may have been taken down, because a lot of them are. But back to what I'm talking about, why I got into herbs and everything. And I've talked about some of this before, but some of you may not have heard that. I think I'm going to switch this so you can let you see the creek here a little bit. I can't even see what you're looking at. I'm just kind of pointing the camera in that direction because the sun's right on it here. But, and I'm going to turn around because up the hill and over is my neighbor who's fairly close. She's going to think that I've totally lost it sitting in the middle of the creek talking to myself. So I'll turn this way. Maybe she won't. My voice won't be projecting that direction. Anyway, little things to keep finding. Those of us that don't have a lot, the older folks that, they may not have a lot, especially women that don't have a mate. Men make more money, they get higher Social Security. Even when you're older, men have a little bit more than women do. I'd like to go down there and explore. I haven't really walked down in the creek and explored, but there's snakes this time of year too, so. And because I don't, I'm out and pretty far away anyway from any medical, there is some stuff that I can use for snake bite, but I am so weak I wouldn't make it. So I have to really be careful. Just enjoy what I can enjoy. But a few years back, I'd have probably been walking down this creek as far as I could go, just about. But what did I do this morning, herbal-wise? Well, I worked in my garden, cutting back my plants were all left for about a week without watering. Probably more than that because I was in the middle of packing even when I was there and everything, and I didn't really take care of it. So I got most of my plants up here. Let me show you some. The sun is right on this. I can't even see what you're seeing. I've got a lot of my plants right here, and they're in very sad condition, and I'm still rearranging. Things are still messed up. But my Rose of Sharon here, it just about died on me. But it's trying to revive now. And I cook out here because my stove quit working in the trailer. I have no water. I have to sheep herd bath it and go other places for a shower. There's things you just have to do to try to survive. And yeah, I got stuff here the best I can. I need to go pick up a few more. I've got a few more that didn't make it up here, but I got the majority up here with some help from my little mountain church. And there's all kinds of walking trails through here. Here's some blackberries. Yeah. I need to bring something down here and pick a few. One way to survive is, I know a lot of people talk about your community. You need to have some sort of a community. Okay, community. So, I've got a big basket of pears on my kitchen table because it's just a little tiny church that I go to. But everybody's bringing produce. Week before last, somebody brought in a bunch of apples and everybody just shares what they have. When I had my chickens, I took extra eggs and gave away. And things like that. Yeah, community is one way to survive, with each other, bartering or sharing, and sharing with each other. Using your herbs, like this morning I had some of my tulsi, and I'm trying to get back. I got away from it in the middle of the move. I was just eating garbage on the run, and it's just not good. And so I'm taking you on a walk. I'm going to take you up to, back in here is an old hunter's cabin. Thought you might like to see that. Maybe I'll save that for another video. I think I'll save that for another video. It's kind of cool. But, yeah, working together. Ooh, there's some wire in here. I wonder if the owners would let me use some of that. This is all the property of the owners of the place where I'm here. I would love to put in a fence. I know the gal next to me did, but in a way I don't, because it's kind of nice to the openness too. But there's many things. Our war is a war to survive, and for, like I said, for those of us that are older, and the poor ones, some aren't even older, they just didn't have a lot, and we're the ones being hit the hardest. But there's people here that are good people, that are intelligent people, that are not druggies or anything. And it's their first year having to live in an RV, because nobody can, at least here in California, nobody can afford the housing hardly. And so much of the housing was burnt down. I've got several friends that have moved away because their houses got burnt down. They just left the state. And then a lot of other people just left the state anyway. Houses, even though there were still houses here. It's just so expensive. But, yeah, a lot of people are struggling. Now, where I'm at just happens to be for older people. But, there's younger people struggling too. My kids are really struggling. There's some flowers down now. That's just something red down there. I don't know what that is. But over there are some red flowers. I was kind of curious as to what they were. But I got the camera in my hand, I don't want to slip and fall down in the water. So I'm taking you exploring with me while I'm talking to you about the war. The war that we're fighting. We need, you can't be a lone wolf. Now, isn't that pretty? Look at that. That's really pretty. There's more down up through there, too. But, and you can't be, yeah, there'll be lone wolves, and they'll run around and try to take what you have, probably, but hopefully if we all start sticking together, we can, when things like that start happening, I think it's going to wake a few more people up totally, and we'll kind of see what we need to do to protect ourselves more, and how we can work together in doing that. That is one good thing about the fences. It slows people down a little bit. And it keeps predators from getting your little dogs when you have a little dog or cat or something like that. There are coyotes that come right into our trailer court. Boy, they were close this morning. They were just like maybe 200 feet from me. I don't even know if they were that far. But, so you have to protect yourself. There is smoke in the air. They said there would be. This is from because we have a wind from the north that's blowing down, and it's blowing the smoke from the fires that are up by the Oregon border but are in California. It's blowing it down here to us, and boy, I can see it through the trees. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. But, yeah, all the fires, unreasonable fires. It's very different. For those that younger may not know, when I was growing up, there would be forest fires, but they behaved and acted very, very different. Now, all these metals, the nanoparticles that they are spewing, and there is written documentation that they're doing that. They're pretty much openly doing it now. Some still try to hide it, but it's very open. You can find it. And you can find articles about it and all of that. So that stuff, from what I am researching, it actually causes plants and stuff to be more combustible. But I think it's more than that, because some of the fires that I drove through afterwards, and that burned towns down and stuff here, there would be metal buildings and tops that would be just melted, and standing right next to it would be a wood building untouched. I seen housing that was just like cut down the middle, and cars that had holes through the hood, and they were burned out on inside but not the outside shell, and just unusual, strange things. Yes, I saw some very strange things. It wasn't just photographs on the internet that somebody could have doctored up. I drove through and saw a lot of stuff. Now, the housing being cut in half, that was a picture. But I did drive by and see the wooden structure standing untouched. Right, and talking about touching, it might even be almost touching, maybe only a few inches from the metal, and the metal would be melted. Explain that to me. Maybe there's an explanation I'm missing, but I've never seen. When I was growing up, I saw forest fires. When I was raising my kids, we would drive up and look at some of the forest fires, see how far they were from us, and stuff like that. You don't dare do it now. They move so fast, and you just get as far away as you can, as quick as you can. They didn't used to burn like that, guys. They just didn't. I know firsthand. So, there's just a lot going on. Please be alert, be aware of your surroundings always. There's also a lot of people that are desperate and don't have the morals to control themselves. Take your herbs to strengthen yourself, different herbs, study on it. I've heard over and over, even from some of the people that I know personally, there's things going on in the medical system. They are collapsing. It's a slow fall, but it's falling. Right now, it's just survival, you guys. This is the type of war that we're in, is to survive. And I heard there used to be fish in these creeks, but that for some reason there is no fish anymore. We were talking about it the other night, and they said maybe because of the raccoons and everything are fishing, trying to get food, and they're eating all the fish out. I don't know why there was raccoons when I was a kid. Why did we have fish then? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something somewhere. But I do know too, walking up through here, listen. Do you hear any birds? When I was a girl and walked through the woods, I would hear all kinds of birds. I don't hear one bird right now. Once in a blue moon, I hear a mountain jay call out or something like that. There's a few of the bigger birds like that. There's not even a whole lot of them, but little birds, very few. Maybe because of all the forest fires, they all left and didn't come back. I don't know. Now I see a railroad crossing sign up there. I wonder if there's a railroad up there? I don't think so. I think somebody just put that sign up. I don't know. This is all new to me. I haven't explored it all yet. But it's kind of cool. So, learn your plants. Look here. These are wild grapes growing in here. They're green right now. My son and his girl got lost in the mountains a few weeks back. And he said, Mom, I didn't know the plants. And he said, well, there was a lot gone. A lot of the plants were burned away. There was just no trees, no plants, no animals. They ate a lizard, but that lizards aren't good for you. But they ate it because they were hungry. They were lost up there for several days before they finally ran into a lady forest ranger or something. But anyway, it's so important. You know, John used to say, Mom, if something goes down, we'll just go to you because you know the plants. I don't know them all. I mean, but you need to learn them for yourselves individually. Look up. You know what that is? Wild plums. I have an idea this is getting long, so I'm going to go ahead and close. We might talk some more about that and start getting a little more in depth if anybody's interested. I'll catch you next time. God bless.